How you doing, Brian King, UK Flooring TV? Today I'm still in isolation in my home. I'm joined by Deane Bisby from Floortrain. Deane, how you doing?
Not so bad, are you?
Yeah, not so bad. Whereabouts are you from, Deane?
I live in Sheffield. Is it
Sheffield. Right.
Yeah.
Are you managing with this lockdown, Deane?
To be fair, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's sort of
You're the first person that's not moaned about it, to be honest. I know a lot of people are moaning, saying they're bored, but to be honest, there's worse places we can be in, isn't there, really?
Yeah. I enjoy my guitar though, so I'm just sat on my guitar most of the time.
How long do you think it'll last?
Oh, hopefully not too long. I reckon another maybe a month or so. Easy, yeah.
I don't think we've really peaked yet, have we? I know Italy, they're starting letting people slowly go back to work. I think they were 2 weeks before us, weren't they?
Yeah, and I know in news over the last couple of days, Wuhan have started recording more cases, haven't they, again? So they've got like a second wave. So, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. When did Floortrain close?
We shut pretty much when the schools did. We were kind of advised that we should do. So they were a lot safer anyway. So,
yeah. Deane, your apprenticeships. There's been some big changes, haven't there? In the last was it last year they changed the apprenticeships?
Yeah. They introduced the floor layer standard, which is a different way of working as far as apprenticeships are concerned. So at the minute we're juggling. The floor layer standard itself is a 3-year course as opposed to what we used to have on the old one, which were between a year and 18 months. So it's a lot long-winded, but yeah, more in detail, I think.
Right. Do you think these changes are for the better or not? Was the old way better, or is this new way better?
I think the old way was. I mean, it took a long time for us to get used to the old way and get it working to a decent model. That we're working towards a qualification, whereas this one is, as far as Floortrain are concerned, is more training. So we're able to have more time with the floor layer and teach them more about floor laying. In actual fact, this one's more about the behaviour of professional floor layer. So it's a little bit better, I think.
Right, and with this lockdown, are your students, are they able to do anything from home?
They are, yeah. Because we launched the app probably about a year and a half ago, the app has come into force quite well. So, yeah, we can still do a lot of distance learning, if you like. As much as you can't really teach a floor layer from your own living room, but we're managing it.
Right, and are you able to work from home as well? Are you doing some work from home?
Yeah, you're actually. I'm sat at my temporary desk, if you like. So yeah, I'm still managing things. I'm phoning and doing WhatsApp face-to-face conversations with learners. So yeah, they're still doing things for me. Yeah, it's like my classroom away from my classroom, if you like.
Back to the app, Deane. I know last time I spoke to you, I think you just launched it. Has that app taken off? And can you explain a bit about the app for people who don't know about it?
Yeah, well, initially we used the app as like an e-learning model. We used to give them out a USB stick with lots of information on, but the app were more designed for the younger person, something that they could have in their hand and could refer to stuff as they wanted to. But it's now come into its own because now we've got the full sessions on the app, so I can deliver the session without actually delivering the session. I just say, why don't you have a look at the video and then come back and we'll do some bits. So it's really quite versatile.
And is there any changes with your NVQ?
As far as NVQ, it's still going. The only change is it's not fully funded like it used to be, much to the frustration of the more experienced fitter, because a lot of fitters have got their NVQ through funding, which is not available like that anymore. It's now available through like localised government, so areas. So you may have seen like Floortrain have advertised, for instance, NVQ available in Manchester. So fitters that live in that area. So that's how we're still delivering them, but not as much as we used to.
And before the lockdown, was Floortrain quite busy? Was you busy before all this started?
Yeah, we were enrolled in a class a month, which are on hold a little bit for now. But yeah, we were quite busy. I never seem to have a minute. I think that's why I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. Actually, I'm getting a minute. I can concentrate on things. So.
I know I've asked you in the past, but for the people what have not seen our previous interview, can you tell us the history of Floortrain, how it got started?
Yeah, so we're talking, I think it's about 10, 11 years ago now. Our director, Stuart, he realised that he needed CSCS cards for his fitters to get on certain contracts. And so he then saw a marketing MVQs, became an assessor himself, and then started pushing and assessing floor layers nationwide. And since then, we've evolved into doing apprenticeships alongside MVQs. And it's just become quite a big entity. So, yeah, I think most people know who Floortrain are these days because of that.
And can you tell us a bit about the staff, what's in the background and what they do and who they are?
Yeah, so we've got 2 tutors at the minute. So there's me and Keith. Keith is our newest tutor. He's just come off at tools. I said just, it's been a year now, but he came off the tools. Really good floor layer. So he's learning towards, he's working towards his teacher qualification, if you like. So he'll be doing that. He's also working from home. He's spending all day with learners on face-to-face working. We have Gareth, who's our guy that we send out, and he does a lot of speaking to employers, and he's the one that enrolls people actually. So if you wanted an apprentice, he'd be the person to speak to. And then we've got a couple of people that do like progress reviews, so people that go out on site to see our apprentices to make sure everything's all right, and they do a review of how they're getting on. And then there's our main director, Dominic, who kind of runs the show as far as the apprenticeships are concerned. He's always busy in his office doing bits and bobs. And then we have our 2 directors. They don't generally come in as often as they used to. They don't need to these days, but they're certainly there, to keep us on our toes.
Deane, if someone wanted to take an apprenticeship with yourselves, or if somebody had a young lad they wanted to put an apprenticeship scheme, how would they go about that?
Right, well, obviously we're now working with the floor layer standard, so it's a different kettle of fish to what it used to be. First off, they'd have to have the apprentice as an employed person. That's part of the funding rules. There's also a bit of money to pay towards as well, because there's a levy system in place for apprenticeships at the minute. And for me, they've got to be showing, because apprentices are often used as labourers, whereas apprentices are trained to be floor layers, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they need to have that mindset that they're going to bring in somebody to train them up to be, rather than just a hired help. So it's pretty simple, really.
And what's the process from start to finish with an apprenticeship? What would your student have to go through?
Right, what we have to do, we have to show 20% off the job training. So that's training away from the work, if you like, as much as train while they're working. So they're going to be with us probably about 2.5 years, and that's training. So we expect them to come at least 2 times a month. That's how we work. And in that, the first year they do a lot of theory, whilst also, as we've discussed before, you've seen the centre, they come in Tuesdays and Thursdays and they work on the practical, which is more in depth now because of the 3-year thing. So it's quite a long process. At the end of that 2.5 year, they then we send them to their EPA, which is endpoint assessment. So in effect, where like if you thought of this as driving, you learn how to drive with the driving instructor, and then you go away and do your test separately. So that's what happens now with this new apprenticeship. So.
And what about like if somebody wanted to do an NVQ with you? What's the process there? What would they have to do?
Well, it's quite simple. Get in touch with us. there's a few ways of doing that. There's Facebook. We're often advertising through Facebook, so they can message us directly, and someone will message them straight back. Or phone our Doncaster Centre, and again, we get straight back in touch. Whether they're going to be funded or whether they're going to have to pay for the MVQ themselves, we then assign an assessor. He then comes out to see them. So.
Lastly, Deane, any plans for the future at Floortrain? Is anything coming out?
At the minute,
that there's been a big change with the apprenticeship, so
yeah.
I suppose you're busy with that. But is there anything else planned?
Well, hopefully we can get through this summer nice and steady, and there's a decent industry left. I think there will be, but yeah, it's just basically we're trying to develop this new apprenticeship. It's new to us, as I'm sure it's new to a lot of training providers as well. So we're just trying to get some sort of roll with it and get good at it, and start churning out some decent floor layers.
Yeah, well, there is a massive shortage, really, isn't there? In floor layer, I think is the average age something like 48 for a floor layer.
I think so. Yeah. The problem that you have, you get a fitter that wants an apprentice, and he thinks it's a great idea, brings them in, and I don't know what happens. There's a generation difference. The younger man don't see graft as a way forward. And
well, born idle, I'll tell you.
I wouldn't like to think so. I've certainly seen a lot of young apprentices that have got it. Some really good talents.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, maybe this COVID-19 might make things change a little bit, and the younger man or the younger person might think, you know what, I might have to graft for money.
It's a good industry to be in. It's a cracking trade. But I've never known anybody to say, I want to be a floor layer. Like everybody seems to fall in it, but you know what I mean? I've done it from being 16. I'm 46 now, and I still love it, and I've made some good money, and learned loads over the years. So I don't know. It's just a good industry to be in, I think.
And no day's the same as a floor layer. I don't think. Even if you're doing the same sort of tasks, no day's the same. Yeah, you've got to work for it, and it's physically demanding. But like you said, the rewards are there. It's just trying to get them to understand it, I think.
Yeah.
But
you still? Well, you was a practicing floor layer. How did you get into the industry, Deane?
By chance. I actually worked for an insolvency company before, and I lost my job. Went to drown my sorrows at the pub, and I got offered a job. I didn't even know what it were, and as it happened, it was working away with a carpet fitter working on pubs, and I never thought I'd enjoy it, and I absolutely loved it. I've loved it ever since. So, that's how it happened.
I have no regrets anyway.
Anyway,
Deane, thanks for speaking to us. Thanks for taking time out speaking to us. Anybody who wants any information on Floortrain, I'll put a link below so they can just get in touch with you and you can give them any information. Good luck with this lockdown, and hope you're back at work soon enough. So,
well, hopefully I get good on my guitar. I can get it up and just start playing guitar for a living. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, I've got a bass guitar and I'm still rubbish on it, so. Anyway, thanks again, Deane. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Brian. Thank you.
Later.